Many famous athletes have gotten caught abusing drugs in sports such as Lance Armstrong, thanks you, dear. And this is interesting because he was an icon to many people, but this was all stripped away when he got caught abusing drugs. So my name is Madison Lithia, and I'll be presenting about detecting drug abuse in sports. So this is just an overview of what I'll be going over today. I'll be going over the types of drugs that have been abused in sports over the past 70 years. One big drug that has been abused is testosterone, and I'll get into that later. And then chemists are in a cat and mouse race with these athletes, and the people that are making drugs for the athletes, because once the drugs are made and they can be detected, then the people that are making the drugs are trying to make new drugs that will not be detected by these tests. So the first people to use these drugs in sports were Soviet weightlifters after World War II, and then American weightlifters started using these after them, and it was working. So the first one used was Dianabol, and then they quickly turned to Turinabol because it was less likely to be detected, and it could break down the liver, whereas Dianabol could not. And the routine testing in 1976 Olympics was the first time that it happened for routine testing. So WADA is the World Anti-Doping Agency, and so far they have banned over 192 performance-enhancing drugs, and they work with other anti-doping agencies around the world, such as the American one and the Australian one, and they are part of the cat and mouse race as well, because they're trying to ban these substances so that athletes will not use it, and that the spirit of the game will be good again, and that it will be fair for everyone. So testosterone is an anabolic steroid, which means that it turns on cells to produce protein and develop and repair muscles. So this means that the athletes can do more frequent heavy workouts, and they'll get bigger muscles, improving their performance. And it causes significant strength increase. And the way that they test this is by testing the rate of testosterone at testosterone levels, which should be 1:1 in the body, but if it's over 4:1, then they have to do more tests, such as mass spectrometry through a urine sample. So stimulants are the next one, and stimulants affect the central nervous system by increasing parts of the brain and the body, so it increases the heart rate, blood pressure, and metabolism of the athlete. So they use this to reduce fatigue and increase alertness, so they can go for longer. Some common ones are caffeine and amphetamines, and then these are just some things that could happen, some risks. So they could have heart attacks or hallucinations as well, and this is also tested with a mass spectrometer. So mass spectrometry, as you can see in this diagram, so mass spectrometry is a technique that identifies the type and amount of chemicals present in a substance by measuring the mass to charge ratio and the abundance of gas phase ions. So it measures the precise molecular mass of ions through ionization, separation, and detection, as you can see in this diagram. And there's two techniques. There's a hard technique and a soft technique. So the hard technique detects small molecules, while the soft techniques allows larger molecules to get through and remain intact. And there's different uses for each of these. And then here are just some of the effects that can happen. There are many different ones depending on which drug you use, and such as clotting, diabetes, high blood pressure, and these are one of the main reasons why people want the drug abuse in sport to stop, because it could cause long-term effects for many people, and it has caused long-term effects for many people that have abused these drugs. And then it's also just against the spirit of the game. So there are many famous athletes who have suffered from drug abuse, such as Lance Armstrong, Tyson Gay, and Maria Sharapova, and a lot has been taken from them because of this drug abuse, and it should be stopped. And then here are some citations that I used to make this PowerPoint.